Hey, it's Ryan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to share this video with you today because today I'm going to be reviewing The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. So I've kind of concluded that I'm going to be doing separate book review, booktube videos for books that I really liked or ones that didn't really hit the mark that I was expecting, and I kind of want to talk about it. This book I could not get enough of. Just everything I love in a YA fantasy. So yes, The Nature of Witches is a YA fantasy and I rated it 5 stars. So I'm going to start by talking about the tier and structure of the witches, and then I'll get into the characters and the writing and the plot and the character arcs, and it's all just so amazing and it's so unique and it's so magical. Okay, but I could literally praise this book all day and I could talk about it all day. So the structure of the witches, I found this to be so unique because there are a lot of witchy fantasy novels out there, but the uniqueness of this book alone is what really made it a 5-star read for me, and I knew it was going to be a 5-star read for me just from the first chapter. So Rachel does a really good job of outlining the structure of the witches and how they have a purpose in the environment and climate. So the witches are split in 2 seasons. So there are summers, springs, winters, and autumns. And there are the odd witches that are called Evers, who can control all 4 seasons. So this is really rare, and you'll see that the main character of this book, Clara, is an Ever. So essentially, the witches in this world actually moderate and create the weather and climate, but they are met with a challenge. So the humans in this book are called shaders, and they are not really caring about what they're doing to the environment, and they just rely on the witches to keep everything okay and intact. But the witches are struggling and they're getting depleted of magic because weather situations are happening that they're not creating, and they're having a struggle controlling it. So I really, the structure of the witches is super unique, but it's really cool that Rachel Griffin also brings to the forefront climate change in such a unique way. So the book follows main character Clara, and she is an Ever, and she has a lot of weight on her shoulders due to this. All of her teachers are pushing her very hard with training. All the students expect so much from her. So that's an inner struggle. And another inner struggle is that she is terrified of the strength of her powers and how dangerous they can potentially become because she can control all 4 seasons. And you'll see within the novel why she's scared. This book deals with a lot of self-battle with Clara. So anyways, she kind of wants to dismiss her powers in a way. She doesn't want to embrace them. She doesn't want to be a witch. She doesn't like who she is, and that's just a constant struggle with her throughout the novel. So the teachers pair her up with Sang, who is a spring, and he's just this gentle, caring boy. He's the same age as Clara, and so they paired Clara up with Sang to help him train her. Just someone she doesn't know, someone she won't feel incredible amounts of pressure with, and soon a friendship is woven, and then from there a romance blossoms. So this book has a lot of suspense, wonderment, magic, romance. The romance in this book is so beautifully written. I can't, oh my gosh, I wish I could tell you the specific moments that stood out for me so much, but I don't want to spoil it because I really want you to experience it for yourself. But the romance in this fantasy is one of the most magical romances I have ever read. And man, it made me feel everything, which brings me to Rachel Griffin's writing, which also made me feel absolutely everything. Within the first chapters, she paints Clara's life and why Clara is the way she is, and I was almost in tears. So Griffin's writing is just amazing. It's beautiful. There's no other way. There were so many sentences and paragraphs where I was shook and I had to stop, and I literally said to my boyfriend, I was like, damn. And then I would read the line out to him, and I was just like, Damn, again. Um, there wasn't a single character I didn't like. Even the teachers who pressured her, Rachel Griffin found a way to make them really purposeful, and she made the reader find a way to admire them. Because I feel like as a reader, or for personally how I read it, she kind of needed those pushes to get over her self pity, unfortunately. But even the supporting characters, Rachel Griffin did such an amazing job. They all held purpose and moved the plot forward, and they all had their own story arcs too. So none of them were just randomly there. I never asked, why is this character even here? What are they adding to the plot? They all pushed the plot forward in some way, and they were all connected to Clara in some way. Uh, if I had to choose a favorite character, it would be between Clara or Sang. And I can't choose, to be honest, because Clara is a badass female MC. I freaking love her. Like, despite everything she's been through and all the weight on her shoulders, she has so much strength and perseverance. And, like, she doesn't even know she had it within, like, the first half of the novel. But then you really see her grow as a character. And I also have such an adoration for Sang because he also has perseverance and strength. He didn't give up on Clara, and he's there for her no matter what. So, if you like fast-paced fantasies full of magic and action and romance and captivating characters, you're definitely going to want to read this book when it comes out on January 1st, 2021.